so much as a warning. Life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. Stand by for 30 minutes worth of incredible video clips gathered from all over the world. Witness a jet dragster careen off a racetrack at more than 270 miles per hour. And watch as a test pilot is forced to eject while his plane plummets into the heart of a bustling city. It's intense, it's jaw-dropping, it's destroyed in seconds. Summer day at the Desert Air Park in Fairfield, Utah, helicopter pilots from around the world strut their stuff in front of the crowds. Among the talented flyers is a British pilot who's behind the controls of a Schweizer 269. The nimble chopper and the ace pilot show off a series of tricks before flying into position for their signature stunt, the 180 wing over. This inverted loop maneuver requires skill, precision, and more importantly, a lot of altitude.
Son of a... 911! 911!
At first, it appears that the stunt will go exactly as planned. But as the pilot pulls out of the loop, he quickly realizes that he's just 3 feet too low. Slowly, stunned spectators make their way to the crash, unable to tell the extent of the pilot's injuries through the smoke and dust. Thankfully, not far from the twisted wreckage is the bloodied but otherwise uninjured pilot.
The pilot's okay. He walked away.
The twisted metal makes it hard to believe that this pilot has performed this stunt over 1,200 times. The skids absorb the brunt of the impact, and the man is lucky to have escaped injury. Strangely, the cause of the crash is attributed to the weather. Hot air caused the helicopter's altimeter to give a false reading, leading the pilot to misjudge his height, resulting in the total destruction of his helicopter.
Son of a...
After an 18-month delay, the Swedish Air Force is putting a prototype Saab JAS-39 Gripen fighter through the paces. The plane had been grounded while engineers attempted to fix glitches in the computer-based control system. After a year and a half of hard work, they believe the plane is ready to go. But their test pilot is about to find out that there still are a few bugs in the system. After 5 hours of performing high-altitude maneuvers, the plane comes in for a landing, just as the computer software fails. The Swedish Air Force is breaking in their newest fighter jet. And after a 5-hour test flight, the pilot brings it in for a landing. Unable to regain control, and with no time to eject, he is trapped in the cockpit. The horrific crash demolishes the plane. It continues to tumble hundreds of yards before stopping in a field. Spectators fear the worst as rescue crews race to the burning wreckage. Flame retardant foam is sprayed across the burning jet. Within moments, the flames are extinguished. The test pilot sustains only minor injuries. Four years later, at the Stockholm Air Show, the same pilot is once again behind the controls of another Saab JAS-39 Gripen fighter. This time, it's not a prototype, but the first production plane off the assembly line. After a short time in the air, the plane becomes unresponsive, and the control system fails again. Unable to regain control of the fighter, the pilot is forced to eject. And the pilotless plane plummets to the ground in the middle of the bustling city. Emergency crews are dispatched. Thankfully, the jet crashes into a wooded park and no one is hurt, including the pilot, whose parachute winds up stuck in a tree. In both accidents, it's determined that the pilot's efforts to manually compensate for the software errors overloaded the computer, resulting in the entire control system shutting down. After vigorous testing, the plane is now safe and used as a key military component in several countries around the world. As for the pilot, he decides not to tempt fate for a third time and retires as a test pilot. Dakota County, Minnesota. Local police pull over a minivan. At the wheel, a suspected drunk driver. Turns out, the driver's not intoxicated. But just as an officer hands her a citation for 2 lesser infractions, there's a very sobering moment. The man behind the wheel of this luxury SUV illegally speeds around 2 stopped police cruisers, loses control, and slams into the stopped minivan. The collision sends the SUV, the van, and the officer flying. And it turns out it was the driver of the SUV who should have been pulled over. He blew a .20 on the breathalyzer and is charged with driving under the influence. Neither of the drivers are seriously injured. And as for the officer, he's able to walk away from this close call. Jet car racers rev up their Pratt & Whitney J60 engines, the same kind of engine used in naval aircraft like the T-2 Buckeye. The driver of the black car on the left is Dennis Gissler. The location of the drag race is Sacramento's Raceway Park. These jet cars rocket from 0 to well over 250 miles per hour in just seconds. To slow down and stop, parachutes are deployed from the rear of the vehicles. The race seemed to start out so well. But it went all wrong fast. Only the right chute deploys, pulling the car violently off the track, where it rolls, crashes, and explodes, barely missing the rescue crew. Debris from Gissler's car is all over the track and the infield. These skid marks and this broken guardrail show the trajectory of the vehicle as it raced out of control. Rescuers immediately rushed to help Gissler.
All I saw was the parachute come out and saw the car hook an immediate right turn.
His jet car has been reduced to nothing more than this skeleton.
Where's the front wheels at?
Over there.
In the pond?
And not even the wheels stay attached to this vehicle.
You see this car went over at over 275 miles an hour, and the guy's walking away with a broken right arm and a few bumps and bruises.
Not so. Gissler actually broke both arms and legs, 4 ribs, had 4 teeth knocked out, and suffered a severe concussion.
Is he okay?
It's gonna be all right.
It takes Gissler 2 years to fully recover from his injuries.
Red light, our side doesn't matter. Looking for you, Kelly. It's right. Maybe 5.
And he he never gets behind the wheel of a jet dragster again. Skydiving, a thrill seeker's mainstay. A free-fall formation thousands of feet above gives these daredevils an additional boost of adrenaline. As the sun begins to set over Paris, California, 35 skydivers are on a mission to break the nighttime formation world record of 27. The team runs through a rehearsal detailing their every move. The plan? A 35-person formation at 10,000 feet. There's no room for error. One malfunction could cost lives.
Looks good to me. Looks good.
The plan is set. The divers are ready. And flight time is now. The plane accelerates down the runway. The skydivers look forward to the record-breaking freefall. But this time, their biggest jump isn't for fun, it's for their lives. The DC-3 cargo plane is on fire. Flames are spreading, and the fuel tanks could explode at any moment. Skydivers bail out one at a time from the rear of the aircraft. Pilots are unable to make their way to the exits. They escape through an emergency hatch. As the plane accelerates, one of the 3 propeller blades on the left wing snaps off and is thrown 3,000 feet across the field. The breakage causes an explosion in the engine, and the plane stops. Outside, the pilots are unwilling to jump down 17 feet and take their chances through the billowing smoke and fire.
Get out of there! Chris, get her away from there!
Is everybody out? Yes! Pilot!
Their decision pays off, and they head to safety.
Get the hell back away from me,
Finally, firefighters arrive, but it's too late to salvage the vintage aircraft. Damage is widespread, and the 50-year-old plane is a $100,000 total loss. When the propeller snapped, parts of the blade flew into the engine and ignited the fire. Although these skydivers never broke the world record, they did get the unexpected thrill of jumping out of a burning plane. As the Second World War ends and the Cold War begins, hundreds of atomic bombs are built and tested. Not wanting to be left behind in the frantic arms race, scientists scramble to develop bigger and better nuclear weapons. But the rush to nuclear superiority has catastrophic consequences. 1954, Marshall Islands. Top U.S. scientists begin work on the world's most deadly weapon, a 4-megaton hydrogen bomb, codenamed Castle Bravo. In the months leading up to the test, scientists and military personnel set up a city of testing instruments and sensors. And when everything is finally in place, they decide to detonate. Within seconds, the fireball is over 4.5 miles wide and over 47,000 feet high. And 10 minutes later, the mushroom cloud reaches 130,000 feet into the atmosphere and has a diameter of 62 miles. It can be seen from over 250 miles away. Scientists are horrified to realize that the blast is over 3 times larger than what they expected. Instead of a 4 megaton blast, it's closer to 15 megatons. The entire test site, along with the surrounding army base, is decimated. The test equipment is vaporized. And the island is stripped. The radiation from the blast burns native residents, military personnel, and even fishermen on a nearby Japanese fishing vessel. But the blast didn't just take a human toll. Marine life, vegetation, and the nearby islands are covered with nuclear fallout. Before the blast, the atoll is a quintessential tropical island, but after, the 1.2-mile crater left behind forever alters the landscape. An investigation reveals that an unanticipated reaction during the fission process increased the power of the blast and led to an explosion 1,000 times more powerful than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Comoros Islands, off the coast of Madagascar. A couple sunbathes beneath the turquoise skies of this tropical paradise. And from out of nowhere,
What is this?
a Boeing 767 hits the waves at more than 200 miles per hour. Hijackers had forced the pilot to head for Australia, and now the jet has run out of fuel. The pilot attempts an emergency landing. The left wing of the 767 skims across the water, causing the plane to swing violently and break apart. Now, debris from the wreckage is strewn across miles of ocean. Tourists and island residents rush to the aid of the survivors. Luckily, expert scuba divers and a group of doctors are on the scene. They're able to save 50 people. 125 are dead, including all 3 hijackers. The perpetrators were intoxicated and claimed that they had a bomb. It turned out to be nothing more than a paper-wrapped whiskey bottle. This was the pilot's 3rd hijacking.
What is this?
He was one of the survivors, and today, the pilot still flies. Molten lava, 2,000 degrees of hypnotic beauty, and ruthless destruction. On the big island of Hawaii, the world's most active volcano, Kilauea, has been spewing lava since 1983. The molten rock slowly and deliberately makes its way down the 4,000-foot volcano on its way to the ocean, incinerating everything in its path. As it reaches the Pacific, the journey ends in a violent eruption of steam and solidifies into volcanic rock. Then, in 1986, the lava flow suddenly changed. Standing between the volcano and the sea was the small town of Kalapana. Many residents realize that fighting the lava flow is futile and decide that the only way to save their homes is to pick them up and carry them away. But some houses can't be moved. As the lava inches its way towards this home, there's nothing the owner can do but enjoy his back porch for one last time. A few moments later, the lava flow reaches the wooden structure, and within seconds, the house is a raging inferno. The next few weeks, the goddess of the volcano, Pele, slowly torments the community house by house.
This land belongs to Pele, so if she comes, let her have it. Pele is going to be here forever, while you and I will be here just temporarily.
And to this day, the Kilauea volcano continues to erupt. destroying everything in its path on its way to create new land. I'm Ron Pitts. Tune in next time for Destroyed in Seconds.